Hello, hello, my name's Matt, also known as UKAstroNut. In this video I'm asking the question, why is the Earth so special? So, I mean, we know that there's life here on Earth. You know, me, you, giraffes, trees, plants, rhinoceroses, all these things, there's life here on Earth, and it's just thriving. I mean, if you go outside, you can see there's just life everywhere, and it exists, and it seems to exist so naturally and so easy in a way. But then we've spent so many years trying to find life on other planets. I mean, we've put loads of rovers on Mars, we've sent people to the moon, we use our telescopes to look at all different planets and the different moons, but we just can't find life anywhere else in our solar system. And we're even now trying to find life on planets around other stars, exoplanets. We can't find them there so far. And it doesn't mean that this life doesn't exist anywhere else, but we just can't find it so far. And you kind of wonder why that we find life thriving so well here on Earth, but not anywhere else. So I thought I'd do this video to try and explain why there's so much life here, and also the kind of the physics behind why it is as well, so you can kind of understand it. And this will give a really good overview if you want to understand why there isn't life in our solar system, but also around different stars and the physics of the planets around other stars and things like this. So first things first, we have to consider the position of the Earth in our solar system. So you notice on Earth that our water naturally is liquid. So our oceans and our rivers and our lakes, apart from really far north or really far south, are typically water. They're not frozen as ice. But on Mars has water, but it's just in ice form. So on the polar caps of Mars, there's water, but it's all ice and solid. And all life that we've seen so far needs liquid water to live and to thrive and survive and to create in the first place. And so this is one of the really key things, is the lack of liquid water in other places in the solar system and other planets we've seen. Liquid water here we know is so vital for life. So this is one of the main key reasons. Also, the temperature. On Earth it's a reasonable temperature. It doesn't have huge swinging variations of temperature like it does on some planets, which would be very hard for life to adapt. And equally, it's never too hot or never too cold, so life doesn't have to live in the extreme temperatures. It's also reasonably light in daytime regularly, so plants can survive on the planet because they're going to get light every 12 hours or so, which is really good. I mean, we think that plants obviously need light to survive, and we need it as well because we need warmth. So that's one of the key reasons. And all these things to do with the sun. So this is because we're the right distance away from the sun, that the Earth isn't too hot, isn't too cold, and that it spins regularly enough that daylight and nighttime come relatively regularly. So plants and us can keep getting heat and things like this, and the temperature around the planet stays relatively the same throughout the entire day. It doesn't swing too much. So the position of us from the sun is one of the main key reasons. There's also the Earth's atmosphere. So this is one of the other key main things. So the Earth's atmosphere keeps in a lot of the radiation that comes from the sun, and this is why the planet remains kind of at a reasonable temperature. But also, along with the Earth's magnetic field, it blocks a lot of dangerous radiation, dangerous particles and things from the sun and from outer space. And this protects us because these can be very damaging to humans and to life if these radiation and particles hit us. And it also can block things like meteors. When they try and come through the atmosphere, they can burn up in the atmosphere. So it's really protecting us from these meteors. So the Earth's atmosphere is really good. And actually, billions and billions of years ago, the Earth used to be a lot more active, and used to be a lot more volcanoes, and this spouts out loads of carbon dioxide and really nasty gases in the atmosphere. But this has now all died down, and the Earth is now much more calm, and it doesn't produce all these dangerous gases, which is really good for life because we don't want these things. And so the Earth becoming a bit more sort of calm and the atmosphere together are really good for life surviving here on Earth. Also, one of the really big interesting things, which is why I really like Jupiter actually. So Jupiter is one of my favourite planets, and the key reason that there are a lot of comets and asteroids going around in our solar system, and a lot of them can hit Earth. But because Jupiter is relatively close to us and it's so big and so much more massive, it gravitationally pulls on all these pieces of rock and debris in the solar system. And it pulls them in so that they all land and hit Jupiter. Well, not all, but a lot of them do. And so it's basically just a giant magnet that's sweeping through our solar system, picking up all the dangerous meteors and rocks and asteroids and comets and so on and so forth, so that a lot of them don't fall on Earth. So Jupiter's actually kind of like a bodyguard. It's basically protecting us by sweeping up all the asteroids and all the things like this that could potentially hit us. So these three things are really, really vital. I mean, life had to start somewhere as well, so obviously there has to be some sort of complex, DNA and proteins and things that had to form initially. And maybe they formed here on Earth, or maybe they came from asteroids. Some people think that they could have existed in space and could have been delivered to us via asteroids and comets and meteors and things first. But we don't really know. But these key things, liquid water, reasonable warmth of the planet, good atmosphere and oxygen and gases and things that life needs. And also Jupiter can block off all these dangerous meteors and things like this. These are really, really vital to life thriving on Earth. And some of these reasons are the reasons why life doesn't survive anywhere else in the solar system that we've found so far, or anywhere else on any other exoplanet we've found. So I hope this kind of made sense, and I hope it gives you some idea of why Earth is so special. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check out the rest of my videos, all these kind of things, and I'll see you guys soon.